It's getting thick. It's growing in thick. It's looking sweet, isn't it? I can't think of nothing to say. Nothing. Shoots, brah. I'm acting like CeeLo with my animal during the interview. Hey, buddy. So what's up, guys? I just wanted to kind of give you a quick little tutorial on layering stain. Kind of like I did on the top of that wave desk on the outside, where I had a couple different colors, sanded it just a little bit, and then layered it, and it kind of gave it a cool look. So I just wanted to give a tutorial because to go along with that desk, the person wanted like a little storage area to go up under the desk for the supplies and stuff like that. So I just whipped up this little storage unit, and it's basically, I mean, it's just a box with a shelf, and it's got some wood slats in the back, and it's got some little caster wheels on the bottom so it can roll out from under the desk. But it's a simple little project, so I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to build this thing. I'm just going to show you how I finished it. I went ahead and, to get started, I went ahead and just did the inside a solid color because I'm not worried about layering it and stuff on the inside, because there's going to be baskets, so I'm not worried about that. But as far as supplies, you don't really need that many. You just need two different, at the minimum, two different colors of stain. I have that dark Kona and the sun bleach, which I'm going to put on top. I have the polyacrylic to seal everything up. And you'll just need a 220, little sheet of 220 sandpaper, just to kind of lightly sand it, and then just a staining rag so you can rub in the stain. So that's it as far as the supplies go. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and put that first layer on, which is just going to be the Kona, the dark brown. I'm just going to put it on, let it dry, and then go from there. I usually use a rag, or you can use a sponge brush, or you can just use a regular brush. The reason I like a rag is because I tend to have more control of the way the stain looks when you apply it. So that's why I like using a rag. And what I end up doing is I just cut down the t-shirt into a small square. I don't want to have a big huge rag where I'm worried about controlling the excess or anything like that. So I just take a little rag. What I do is just wrap 2 fingers around, get it wet with stain, and then I can like really control it just using the 2 fingers. So that's the method I tend to use. Alright, so I just finished that first coat of Kona stain, and even though I plan on putting a second coat just on this outside part, I want to go ahead and lightly sand it, because even though I'm going to be covering it with more stain, this kind of starts the process of it having that cool kind of layered look where it's got some darker spots and lighter spots. Because what will happen is I'll go ahead and lightly sand this, and this will actually sand away some of this first coat to where a lot of the bare wood underneath is exposed. So then when I put that second coat on, the places where it still has some of this dark stain, it'll just get darker, and then it'll stain the places where I sanded it, and it'll be a little lighter, so it'll start giving it that like texture almost look. So I'm just going to lightly sand it real quick, and then put another coat of this Kona stain on the outside. Alright, so I just finished up that second coat of Kona stain, and I went ahead and lightly sanded it again. And as you can see, what I was doing was just kind of putting more pressure in certain areas than others, and was kind of getting it down to the bare wood, and it gave it a streaky look, which is exactly what I was going for. So now, done with that step, now I'm going to do the final color, which is I have a sun bleached, which is like a light gray color. And on this color, what I plan on doing is just, I'll apply the stain, and as soon as I put it on, I'll just immediately wipe it off, because I don't want too much of it to stay on there, but I do want a little bit of that color. So that's what I'll start on now. Alright, so I just finished up the gray, and as a last step, I went ahead and went over all of it with just this piece of sandpaper, 220 grit, lightly, just kind of blending the gray. And what I ended up with was this kind of like streaky wood grain look, which I think looks awesome. So finished with everything on the outside. Only thing I have left to do is to put a coat of protection on. I'm going to use a polyacrylic on the outside gloss, because I think the gloss really makes this this effect kind of pop and look really cool with the shine. So I'm going to put a gloss on the outside and just satin on the inside, because I didn't really do anything to the inside. I just want it to look pretty subdued. So that's the last thing I need to do, and then I'll be done. So there you have it. That's layering stain. And as you saw, it's super easy. Even he could do it. Man, this dude's huge, isn't he? I bet he weighs like 30 pounds. He's so fat. He doesn't like being called fat. What, you mad now? Why are you mad I called you fat, man? You are. Alright, buddy. See you later. Fly. Fly. Why you so mad, dude? Hey, dude, why you so mad? Goofy cat. Guess I'll see you guys later. Later, dude. Later. Later, tater.